This is the video for question number 41, and it says the author of the selection includes paragraphs 8 and 9 most likely to. Most likely to is my cue there, and so it's asking me why the author includes paragraphs 8 and 9. I have to go back to my annotations to figure this one out. And when I go back to my annotations, paragraphs 8 and 9 are underneath the heading service to others, and I wrote the benefit here because this one, if I'm remembering, is talking about the benefit that Peace Corps volunteers receive by being Peace Corps volunteers. And so paragraph 8 talks about Mike Roman, who's a Peace Corps volunteer in Kiribati, a country in the Pacific. And the second paragraph is another volunteer, Kristen Deitch, who teaches English in the Republic in Central Asia. And so both of these are actual Peace Corps volunteers, and if I note there's quotations, so it's giving me their thoughts and feelings. And Mike Roman says it's the right thing to do to serve, and then because you do it in the Peace Corps, you learn what the right thing is in any situation. And so learning to listen to that voice in your head that tells you about the right thing, which was my annotation. And then Christian, this one's, he considers himself lucky. He says, I know the students I worked with got a lot out of their time together, but it's hard to explain, but it made me realize that working for others was the best paycheck I ever got. So he considers himself lucky for being able to serve. And so both of these are accounts from actual Peace Corps volunteers about the kind of work they do and their feelings about the work they do. They feel lucky, or they feel like they now know how to do the right thing. And so let's go ahead and look at these answer choices. I have my notes down here to help me. I know that it's about the right thing and lucky and how they feel, and this is coming directly from Peace Corps volunteers. And so answer choice A says illustrate the kind of work Peace Corps volunteers do in Central Asia. It actually doesn't tell me about the kind of work they do. It tells me that Christian's a teacher. It doesn't tell me anything about Mike or the kind of work that he does, and he's actually not in Central Asia. He's in the Pacific, and so answer choice, it doesn't say anything about paragraph 8 and answer choice A, and so that's correct. Answer choice B is our correct answer, and it says provides example of how actual volunteers feel about the Peace Corps, and that best matches my annotations, that they're Peace Corps volunteers and about their feeling. But I'm going to go through the other answer choices just to see. And so it says C, introduce volunteers who have completed various assignments in the Peace Corps. It actually doesn't tell us anything about Mike Roman's assignment or what he does there, and so that's not stated in those paragraphs, so I can cross that out. And then finally, answer choice D says to describe what the Peace Corps expects from its volunteers. There's no expectations mentioned from the Peace Corps in this section of the text about how the Peace Corps volunteers benefit and what they get out of it. And so it's not setting expectations here. And so my choice is answer choice B.